All right, so we're doing notes 1-5 today. Okay, super easy stuff, step by step. All right, number one, at the end of the day, Jeff found that the total cash register receipts at the motel where he works were $286.20. This includes sales tax of 8%. Find the amount of the tax. So basically, it's giving us our total amount, and it's telling us the amount the tax is, which is 8%, but it doesn't tell us any other information. So we want to know what we're having to pay for tax. In order to find that, we got to find out what the bill was. Here's another example of that. If you went to the mall or you went to the store and you saw a shirt and it was $15, okay, and you had only the money in your pocket, that's all you had. Is the shirt really $15 at the store? No, when you get to the register, they don't go $15, please. They're going to tell you a different amount because of the tax. So last period, I don't know, they were all seniors. It seemed to not get the concept of, I mean, maybe they don't get embarrassed if they go to the register and didn't have enough money, but I asked them, how do you know if you have enough money? Okay, how do you know if you have enough money to purchase something, especially like if it's close? If you know you're close, but you know, if it's $10 item, you got a $20 bill, obviously you got enough money. But what if it was $15 and you had $17 or $16.50 in your pocket? How would you know if you had enough to go to that register and pay it? How do you find it? How? 8 cents per dollar. So you're thinking, all right, you're thinking the long range of going 8 cents per dollar, and then you multiply it by that, 8 cents, 8 cents, 8 cents, or adding them up, however. Okay. You would times the amount of the purchase, which is the same thing you're doing, but you're doing it step by step, is by 8%. So if it was a $15 shirt, I would multiply by 0.08 because I convert it to a decimal, and that tells me how much my sales tax is. And then I would add that back to the 15, and that's my total price, and that's how much I got to know I got at the register. So here we go. Let's do that. Okay, so here we go. We do not know how much our sales were. Okay, how much that we know the total amount of the sales, but that also includes the tax. So here we go. Let's go ahead and write X as our variable because we don't know. This is our cost. And I think we're talking about a motel, right? Yeah. So the cost of the motel is X. So that's how much they charge us per night. Okay, like just the set price, not including tax. Plus, they're going to come in and go, okay, you're going to pay 8%. So we convert that to a decimal. So that's 0.08. So is it just, that's it? Just the cost plus 8.08? No, it's 0.08, just like she said in the back. It's 0.08 times the price of the product. So it'd be 0.08x. So however much the room was, just for grins, let's say the room was $50. Then I would also have to add 0.08 times $50. That would give me my tax that I would add to it. Okay? But we do know the total amount, and that is how much? 286.20. Okay? Now we just use simple math here or algebra to finish this out. What is 1x plus 0.08x? 1.08x. No tricks. And last step, how do I solve for x? Divide by 1.08, we agree? Crosses out. X equals, little help in your calculator for me. How much is that is my that amount? We're going to talk about what that amount is. That's my cost because X is my cost. 265. So the cost of that room was $265. Is that what it's asking me though for my answer? No, it wants to find the amount of the tax. How do I do that? Simple one last step. Not divide. Subtract. So I know my total amount was $286.20. And I'm going to subtract out, oops, not like that. Get off me. Subtract out $265. And that gives me a grand total of $21.20. 20 cents, you said? And box it. So that is how much my tax costs. So that room was $265, but then the tax on that room was $21.20, which brought my grand total to $286.20. Too easy? Too easy. Pretty easy, right? If we take it slow and easy, think about it. How about this one? This will be easier. You ready? If I wanted to calculate my grades, how do you find averages? You add them all up, and you divide by the amount that you just added up. So however many grades you added up, you divide by the amount, and it tells you what your average is. Okay? So Louise got scores of 88 and 78 on her first two tests. What score must she make on her third test to keep an average of 80 or greater? Okay, so first off, test number 1 was 88. Plus, test number 2 was 78. Plus, test number 3 was X, because we don't know. We want to know, they all have to be divided to get an average by what number? 3. And we want, after that is done and complete, we want it to be an 80 or greater. So how would I write that? What sign goes next? Greater than or equal to. Good job. Greater than or equal to 80. Super simple. Just like with all of our equations, we do the opposite to undo them to solve for x. So, if it's being divided by 3, we all agree it's being divided by 3 right now? What gets rid of divide by 3? Multiply by 3. So whatever I do to one side, gotta do to the other. Yeah, you could do it the long way, but it'd be longer. You could have went ahead and added those two, but then you're talking two different fractions, because then you're going to have 88 plus 78 over 3, then divide it by 3, but you're also going to have x over 3, and now you're playing with that x, and you're going to have to multiply by the 3 anyhow to get rid of it. So right now, we can get rid of all fractions by just getting rid of the 3 now ahead of time. So the 3's cancel off, they're gone. Okay, and that leaves me what's left. I got 88 plus 78 is 166 plus x is greater than or equal to 80 times 3 is 240. Okay, what was our next step? Solving for x. Got to move the 166 across the bridge. So it becomes what? Minus 166, we agree? Because remember the changes? The changes. Now, if you want to go with your old school math, like your other teachers taught you, you could have put minus 166, minus 166, stack them up. It's the same thing. X is greater than or equal to 240 minus 166 is how much? 74. So that's telling me my final test score has to be greater than or equal to 74. Okay? And because it's an inequality, I don't have to write anything out. Okay, I don't have to write out, I must make a 74 or higher, because it's saying that. It's saying x, which we already said was our grade, has got to be greater than or equal to 74. Okay? Next one. Once Corona's done, everybody's going to start going on vacations more often. So here we go. Couple wishes to rent a car for one day only. So they're only renting it one day. That's the key here. While on vacation. Ford Car Rental wants $15 for that day and 14 cents per mile. While Chevy for a day wants $14 for that day, and they want 16 cents per mile. After how many miles would the price to rent the Chevrolet exceed the price to rent the Ford? Okay, what's exceed mean? Be above, be more. When would it cost more? So we want to know, what we want to know is, when is it the Ford less? We agree? Okay, and so that means Chevy's more, right? A Ford is less. So let's do the Ford price. How much does it cost for that Ford? $15 plus 14 cents per mile. How do I write per mile? 14 cents. You can use any variable we want. Y'all can use M or we can use X. What do you want to use? I don't care. X. We just know that X stands for what? It's our miles. Okay? That's our Ford, right? We want Ford to be greater or less, did it say? We want it to be less than Chevy. And how much is Chevy? $14 plus they're charging us what? 0.16, so 16 cents per mile. Okay, now we're ready to solve it. Okay, we solve it. Got a bridge there. We want to get all of our x's on one side, all of our regular numbers on the other. And I like to work with mine on the left. I know this, I don't know if this is the class, but there's one class where somebody likes to move and keep everything positive, but it'll come out, it is this class. But it'll come out to the same answer in the end for all of us. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and keep my 0.14 on the left side. 0.14 x. Yes, ma'am. For us, for her, it won't if she does her method where she moves everything to keep it positive ahead of time. So is there anything on the right, any x's on the right that I need to move across? 0.16x becomes a negative 0.16x is less than. What regular numbers were already on the right waiting on me? 14. Any regular numbers I need to move across? 15 becomes a negative 15. 0.14x minus 0.16x is negative 0.02. X is less than 14 minus 15 is negative 1. Last step, solving for x. How do I get rid of that negative 0.02? Divide by negative. Beep, beep, beep. Bells and whistles go off. You said divide by a negative. So I got to flip the inequality. So they cancel off. X is no longer less than. X is now greater than. Where do they come out to? What's 1 divided by 0.02? 50. And we said X stands for what again? Miles. Let's go ahead and tag that. Miles. So, when we are driving greater than 50 miles, then that Chevy is going to cost more. So if I drove 49 miles, which one is it cheaper to go with? Ford. Flip it. All right, lots of you guys are saving up right now. Some of you are saving up to buy cars. You're about to need a new ride or get your first ride, whatever it may be. But Steve is saving up. Oh, Steve-O. Steve-O's saving up to buy a car. He's decided he'll start looking as soon as he has saved $2,000. So would that be greater than or equal to or less than or just equal? Just equal. It says when he gets 2,000 on a dot, he done. He gonna start looking. Okay. So what do we got going here for Steve? He has $1,100 in savings right now, and he can save $150 a month. How many months will it be before Steve can begin looking for cars? Okay. So first off, how much has he got? 1,100. Plus, Steve-O can save up 150 X. X standing for per month. Okay, and he wants to know when it will equal 2,000. Okay, solving. So what do I do? What am I moving? I already got my X on the left. It's the only X I have, so I am moving the 1,100 across. and it becomes a negative 1100. We agree? Okay, so 150x equals 2000 minus 1100 is 900. Okay, now what? Divide by 150. And that tells me how many months? 6 months. So Steve can start looking for that new ride after 6 months, or at 6 months. Too easy. Okay. Next one. LED Corporation produces CDRWs. Those are drives that used to go into computers. Now they're DVD drives or DVR, all kinds of stuff like that. That's what those are. Okay? It costs $120 each. This is to make them. $120 each plus a fixed cost of $36,000. We don't know what the fixed cost is for. It could be for the buying of the building, purchasing of all that equipment that goes in there. Who knows what it's for, but that's what it costs. $120 each plus $36,000. The CDRW sells, so once it gets to the store, they sell it for $180. How many drives must the corporation sell to break even? Break even means what? Equal. Okay. So first off, so we want to know, when does our cost equal our profit? Okay. That's our break even point. So what's my cost going on here? 120 per unit, right? So we'll use X again. Plus 36,000. And we want to know, when does that equal our profit? And our profit is found by the sales, which are how much? 180 each unit. So 180x. That's our sales. So our cost is over there, equals our sales over there. Now we want to get our x's on one side, regular numbers on the other. Do I have any x's already on the left side? Yes, and that is 120. And any x on the right that I'm moving over? 180. Becomes what? Negative 180. X equals, any regular numbers on the right? None yet. Any I need to move over? 36,000 becomes what? Negative 36,000. Okay, 120 minus 180 is negative 60. Equals negative 36,000. Okay. Final step. Divide by negative 60. So x equals, a negative divided by negative is a positive. 36,000 divided by 60 is 600. And the product was CDRW drives. You could just put drives. You could just put drives. Box it. Okay. Last one. Okay, a publishing company. This one is basically the same things we got going on that one. Publishing company finds the cost publishing a certain book is $12.50 per copy. The fixed costs for publishing the books are $35,000. How many books must the company publish and sell in order to have a profit of at least $15,000 if each book sells for $25,000? So we want $25. Okay, so we want a profit of at least that. So the only difference is we're going to be using an inequality. Okay, first off, our cost is how much? $12.50 per copy, so that's X. $12.50 X. Okay, plus we're still on cost here. Cost is what? $35,000, right? That's our fixed cost. And we want it to be at least, so that means what? What sign? We want it to be greater than. Could it be equal to? Yes, because it says at least that. So if it was that, that would be at least, right? So greater than or equal to 15,000. This is our profits here. Plus how much? 25x. Okay, let's get our x's on one side. Do I have any x's already on the left? Yes. That is what? 1250 x. I'll move it up so everybody can see. All right. Any x's on the right that I need to move across? 25x becomes negative 25x. It's greater than or equal to. Any regular numbers already on the right? Yes, what? 15,000. Any regular numbers on the left that I need to move across? 35,000. So that's minus 35,000. Okay, let's clean it up. 1250 minus 25 is negative 12.5 or 1250 x greater than or equal to 15,000 minus 35,000 is negative 20,000. Okay, last step. Divide by beep, 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 beep. Bells and whistles. You said divide by a negative. So I've got to flip the inequality. Divided both sides by negative 1250. So x must be no longer greater than, now it must be less than or equal to.
Where did the 25 go?
25, we took it across, okay, and subtracted it. It became a negative. We subtracted it from 1250. So we had 1250 right on the left side already. We brought the 25 across. It became a negative 25. 1250 minus 25 is negative 1250. Okay, what was negative 20,000 divided by negative 1250? Say it again. 1,600. And we have 1,600 what books, right? Okay.
I got a different number.
You got a different number than 1,600?
Yeah, I did.
Can somebody double check it for me? So everybody, so double check yours.
I did what?
Just do 20,000 divided by $12.50.
20,000. I got when I did the 15,000 minus 35. thousand. I got negative 335,000.
What?
Well, not.
Oh, you added them, I guess.
No, I minus
Oh,
them.
I see what you did. No, because you had a previous. It's whatever you had previously on your calculator. If you push the minus sign, it brings it in.
No.
So let me show you. Let me show you how to do that.
I did negative 15,000 minus that, and then I got that. Or I didn't have a negative.
Oh, that's
but-
15. You did 1500.
No, it's 15,000. Wait, yeah, it is. I thought it was that.
Yeah, that's
I
right.
read it wrong?
Yeah, it may be because it was off the screen up there.
Okay, it is a 15,000.
All right, so we're going to do on your A1-5. Go ahead and flip to A1-5. A1-5, you're going to do numbers 2, 3, 5, and we'll do one more. Let's do 8. You want 7? Somebody said 7. Somebody came in for 7. All right, who said? Let's get a vote. We're gonna go vote on 7. What? Any other ones there? Any other votes? 9. I hear a 9. All right, so let's do this. Who votes for 7? I got one person at home. Anybody else at home voting for 7? All right, how about 9? I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I got a bunch of votes for 9. So 9 it is. 9 wins. But hey, good try, good try. So 2, 3, 5, and 9. 2, 3, 5, and 9. So let me move this up. So you're doing A1-5, numbers 2, 3, 5,